Welcome back to a new video. So we're going to go ahead and hammer on through. We're at June 17th. We're currently at 500, 4.5 games back. Certainly having a good season so far. Hopefully we can potentially make a little bit of a run. It does not look like that is happening at the current point. See if this person is interesting. So the waiver wire, go here. So 2 3-star pitchers. We're going to go ahead and try to claim, honestly, both these players. Cannot hurt to have a little bit more pitching. So we've been approved for both. So we're going to go ahead and look at our transactions. We actually should just look at our bullpen. So we can go ahead and move him down to AAA. And then Clayton here can also go down to AAA. To see if either one of those guys that we just picked up will do a little bit more in our bullpen. So Joey Wentz, we need to clear one person from the roster. It looks like Jake Myers is not batting very well, 167. So potentially could get him out of the lineup there. Waive and designate for him for excitement. We'll go to pitching, get our bullpen all squared away, and then we'll look here. So we currently don't have a really good replacement for him. So let's sort by batting average. Kwan's over 300. He's close. So really all of our guys here are, I mean, it's like those guys are basically the same. And then Jake Myers is down there with that 167 average. So there's not really a good replacement for him unless we wanted to put someone like Jacob Amaya in, which he's not really. It's not, you know, six of one, half a dozen of another. So it's not really changing much for us in any sort of drastic way. We'll look here and see if there's anyone interesting for us to potentially get. Someone like Jake Berger is just an infielder for us. So there's not really any interesting outfielders that are particularly young or really good. So we'll just move forward and see, you know, if we can kind of stick around that 500 mark. It looks like we're kind of dropping a little bit below that. We'll go here and throw him to AAA. We do have interesting, so we're going to do a pro gamer move. Looks like he is not great. We're going to move Brock up to the bullpen. Jacob Amaya, we're going to move down. And then Brooks Baldwin will move. Okay, we have to get guys off our we got to get guys moving. So we are going to drop waive and designate him for assignment. We're going to waive and designate him for assignment, and then we're going to bring these two guys up, and then we need to waive one more person. So this guy, we're going to waive and designate him for assignment as well. And we have a lot of interesting outfielders. So he's a 2-star guy. We're going to drop him down. We're going to go ahead and waive and designate him for assignments. Bring Gentry up. And we have another potential right fielder. So we have a lot of potential outfielders. We'll keep him down for now. But our lineup could potentially... so we need a center fielder. So we brought up a couple guys, so we'll see. He can play right or left field, so we're going to bring Kwan over to center field. And we're going to bring... can he play in the outfield as well? So he can play left field and right field a little bit. He can actually play a little bit of center field. So, and Brooks Baldwin, he can play literally every position besides catcher. So between these three guys, we're going to see who the best hitter is. 55 contact, 50 contact, and 50 contact, 55 power. His eye's better. So we're going to try to put Brooks Baldwin in there for both. He's also a switch hitter, which is interesting. And so that means that he's going to be in left field. I believe he can play left field if I remember correctly. Yeah, so that's his second best position. First base he's also really good at. But everyone and their cousin can play first base. So we'll see if that actually helps our lineup a little bit. It's interesting because we have several guys that we could have slotted into there. So at least on days where they're swapping guys out, potentially have some stronger hitters with there. So that could make our team just generally better. So we'll see if those changes help. All right. It couldn't have been that old. He's only 25. If you're an ACL, you can't be that old. So we do have Angel coming off of the DL. And so I'm going to go ahead and drop him to AAA. I mean, what's his contract? It's 1 year for $2 million. What's your average there, friend? It is 234. You are not batting that great. So we're going to go ahead and waive and designate you for assignment. And then we'll bring him back up. And then where is Gentry? He can play in the outfield. So him, we can actually move to second base and then put Gentry in, into the outfield. So we actually have some options. So we don't need to bring Angel in, even though Angel is pretty good. What's Brooks Baldwin, 294. Gentry's only had a couple of bats. John Kenzie Noel. So we have some decent, I mean, we probably have some better power numbers, but might be okay. All right, transactions. I'm gonna go here. I think one of them's going to refuse. So then we're just going to drop them. Yeah, this doesn't add too much to us. Let's continue to hammer on through. See if we can get back to, looks like we are losing some games. I mean, we might lose more than 85, like more than we did last year, and I wouldn't be surprised. But if we can hang around 500, and that's always going to be the best. It's fine. It's only 3 days. It's only 3 days. Continue to move on through. See what we can do. We don't need a crappy relief. Yeah, I just don't need that guy. I just don't want that person at all. So we're getting close back to being 500, which is really cool. We don't need a relief pitcher. Honestly, decently interesting, but we don't need this guy. We have enough pitching. Okay, keep moving on. Now we're getting all the trades. All the trades are coming in. Tristan Beck, decent left fielder. So who do they? Yeah, I kind of honestly like this trade. So, I kind of like this person. Wish I would have stopped in time for it. There's nobody. Let's see, he is 21, a 2-star. So there's no one that's really that, like, yeah, they want too much for him at this point, which is fine. So I guess we went too far past Sonny Gray. They want John Kenzie Noel, Justice DeJong, and that person. Which, this is interesting. This would be a massive trade. So we have control for him for 2 years. So let's go to that trade. We're going to go to discuss. I do not want to give up John Kenzie Noel. But I kind of want Sonny Gray. That's interesting. So what's John Kenzie Noel has done this year? 226, 14 home runs. His potential is kind of maxed out. He's 25. And then they want a first baseman prospect. Honestly, I like it. It stinks that we lose John Kenzie. So that's pretty high on him, but can't go wrong with getting a really good pitcher like that. They want the second baseman. I don't think this really moves the needle for us. So we get a decent starting pitcher, right field prospect, and they want Gentry and a good shortstop. Nah. None. So another starting pitcher for a left field prospect that is probably never going to play for us, but he is been batting decent. And then they want, so we will discuss this trade. Brian Ramos is only batting 234, and we can certainly make do without him, but at the same time, He's cheap. If we can get around not having him, I don't mind giving up this prospect here. I don't mind giving up him. So let's see if we can give someone else. So it looks like they're really bent on having him. So I'm honestly okay with that. That's a pretty good trade for us. And we kind of make do with what we have. We go to the waiver wire. Honestly, this person's kind of interesting. So his contact's pretty good. I don't know why he is necessarily on the waiver wire. I guess they have too many people. And then pitching, nobody that's really, so we won't try to claim him because he's 26. We tried to claim that guy already. Joe Kelly, be a funny player to have. Not a bad pitcher, but he's 30, so we don't really need someone at that age. All right, so we're gonna go here. We have transactions that we need to deal with. So we're gonna go to our pitching. So we actually can like kind of go crazy with improvements with our pitching. Noah Schultz is still batting decent, or pitching decent, but we're gonna go ahead and drop him out. And Gavin Williams is 3-13, so we're gonna go ahead and drop him out as well. Gavin Williams is honestly struggling this year, so we're gonna go ahead and just demote him entirely, since we do have a replacement for him. And or I didn't see that is his, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and demote him, and then we're gonna go back to our starting pitching, throw that in there. Then we're gonna look at AAA to see if there is a relief pitcher that we can bring up. It might have been the person we just dropped down, which is okay. Then we're gonna go here to open our staff up, which just got a lot better, which is really kind of cool. He's really expensive, but that's all right. We're making a run for it. Not really, but we do have the potential to improve our team pretty dramatically. So we're gonna go ahead and just let them set our lineups for now. So then we want Quan in center field, and then Manzardo we can put in left field. Quan in center field, Manzardo in left field. So we actually replaced Brian Ramos pretty well. So this prospect is basically the same as him, is a bit younger, and obviously he's able to play for us. So we have a couple different routes that we can go. So he's at second base. Ben Rice is only batting 184. So let's actually look at AAA to see if there's anyone that is interesting that we could bring up. That is not a terrible player. Looks like most everyone is just kind of mid that we could be bringing up. So I'm not too worried about that. So go back to there. Pedro Leon, not a good hitter, so we're not trying to put him into the lineup if we can manage it. It's like Tyler Gentry is a little bit better of a hitter, but we could potentially. Ben Rice only is a 184 average, so we'll put Gentry in there as our DH, and then we'll keep our eye out for another bat potentially, and we'll go forward a little bit. So now we just got past the trading deadline. Let's see, he was a relief pitcher. And then we don't need a center fielder or a third baseman, any of those players. But we'll go to the transactions, we'll go up. So there's nobody that's really that bad that we're worried about. Brian is this guy. We're gonna go ahead and just see if he refuses. He does refuse. All right, so we're gonna see if there's anyone that we could just straight up get released. So he's kind of been stinking lately. So what was his ERA with, if I can find it. So his ERA jumped up a lot with us in 16 games. So we could potentially get rid of him, but he does have some upside. Actually, not really. I mean, what's his contract? It's only $1 million, so we'll go ahead and wave and designate him for assignment. See if someone wants to pick him up, and then we'll bring him in, and there we go. So we're past the trading deadline. Honestly, our pitching got really good, which is really kind of neat to see. Let's see where our rankings are. Team stat rankings, that's what we want to see. So our pitching is what has been really kind of making our lives not good. I don't want any of these players. I just do not want, like, yeah, he's an okay outfielder. He's just good defense, but like we need Gentry here. We need these players. Yeah, no one that we want to give up. No one that we need to trade. I'm fine. I'm fine. Do not care about any of those players. So we're back to 52. So we ended last video with 33 and 33. This one we're 52 and 52. And we've kind of just been up and down a little bit. But he's a 30-year-old left fielder. Could certainly be a little bit, could be worse. But Chicago, we're going to go ahead and demote him. And then replace there. And we're just going to go ahead and release him because he doesn't want to be demoted. Yeah, we'll go ahead and add that in. Lose 2 games as a punishment. 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row. We lost 5 games in a row immediately. We're not going to adjust the Sonny Gray thing. I don't think we need to. Just a little bit injured. Just a little bit injured. So forearm strain, go ahead and get him out of there. Pitching for our staff, get that adjusted, and see if we can get back to 500. So we're 1 game back to 500, back under, frozen, back to it. We're over 500, 504. Hey, we just need to go like on a 5 or 6 game winning streak so we can kind of just chill above. What? Bone marrow edema? What a weird what a weird injury. All right, so we need someone to replace our DH, which I don't feel like we have a lot of people on our team right now. So we're actually gonna bring someone up from AAA. It doesn't really matter who. We're gonna look at it this way. So who has so we could bring up a pitcher, but that doesn't obviously help us. So he's a kind of a utility guy. He's kind of a utility guy as well. So between these two, 55 power. So Jacob Gonzalez a little bit better at defense. So we'll promote him to Chicago. And we just got him. Where is Jacob? Oh, this is AAA. There we go. That's who we wanted. So he's going to be our DH. On Hill 253 is really, our backup catcher is not batting well. Wilford is not batting the best. Yanar Diaz is kind of going crazy. So pretty happy with our team. And we just gotta win, we just need like a 5-game win streak at some point. We just win and lose, and then we go on a little streak. Let's see if we can offer him a contract extension. He's 32. We'll offer him 2 years. We'll offer you 2 years. All right, I just won't offer you then. I don't negotiate with terrorists. You don't want a 2-year. You're 32 years old. Don't want that. I feel like I'll give you the money that you wanted, but you didn't want for 2 years, or you wanted 3 instead of 2. All right, so we are at roster expansion. Let's go down to a roster. There we go. and look at AAA. So we could add more pitching up. I do kind of want to add, let's see if we have, so we'll add him. And how's Gavin doing in AAA? Looks like he's kind of fixed his life a little bit. I don't really necessarily think it's good to bring him back into the rotation, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. All right. And we were just chilling around 500. Yeah, this rate will be 82 and 82, so I'd be happy with that for sure. For sure. Now we're not. All right, Casey Mays. We're just going to put him on for the longer time. What happened to... We had another starting pitcher that was up here, Lucas Gill. Just put him, leave him as a... I'm just going to set his game strategy. Like, just make him a starting pitcher. I just don't understand. I don't understand how he's just not a starting pitcher. Like, he's not even pitching bad. Now we're 5 games under 500. Now our lives are starting to fall apart. In AA, but these guys that just didn't develop into anything. Not really too tragic. Sometimes your really good prospect will retire randomly like that, and it is very annoying. So we have some decent players. No one that's really tragically missed. And we're 8 games under 500. Well, I don't really care about Tyler Gentry, to be honest. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we have collapsed entirely, which you kind of hate to see. So what we're going to do is go to here and go to our pitching lineup, let them set up our staff, and go to here and let them set up the lineup for the last month to see if that makes any difference. Probably not, because it didn't change the lineup crazy amount. True Thorpe, we'll go ahead and throw him back to there. So I think we're going to be about the same as we were last year. Let me double check to see what our manager history was. So 85 games. So we're probably going to lose a couple more than that unless we just win the rest of our games, which would be pretty cool to do. Would be kind of meaningless. We'll move forward here. That's fine. Let's put him on the 15-day DL. Season's over anyway. It would be funny if are we gonna have the same record? Did we actually get the same exact record? That's pretty hilarious. So our pitching moves didn't really help us. So we'll go here. Yeah, we actually finished with the same exact record 2 years in a row. That's actually hilarious. But you can see our batting average jumped up a lot. We scored more runs. Our pitching got a lot worse, which is the big difference. So if we had better pitching the whole year, then there's a chance that we could have won 85 plus games and been closer to playoff contention. We'll go ahead and see who wins the World Series. Not going to be us. Red Sox and Cardinals. Interesting. The Guardians made it to the second round before the Red Sox beat them. Twins are always good on these simulations. They must like their prospects and stuff. International there. So Red Sox won. Interesting. All right, so the next video, unless this freezes here, but the next video is going to be the off season again. I don't know why they're dogging on me. I've picked up the worst franchise. New budget. So same thing. Extended my contract. Chip Hale is out of here. So we have arbitration. So we'll do 2 things before we leave. We're going to look for someone to replace. I don't know why they're all feuding. We'll go to personnel and we'll offer everyone extensions. So nobody wanted an extension. Staff role. So we need catching and infield for our third base coach. And so we are going to go to coach ratings, go up to catching, and infield. So we have this guy here, or potentially this guy here. Could potentially go with him because he handles aging better. So I think that would be better at that, and he's younger. So we'll go ahead and offer, and let's make it 230. 1, 2, 3. So then he hopefully just accepts it for sure. We'll go back to here and see waiver wire. I don't think there's going to be any. Yeah, there's no one that's really interesting on the waiver wire. 28. So Victor Mesa is interesting. And then no one else that's really particularly interesting for us. So we're good here. Trading block. No one that's really moving the needle for us. All right, let's go to arbitration. See if there's anyone that is there that we don't need. So Lucas Gill, like a 481, you know, he wasn't great, but definitely did enough for us. Gavin lost 15 games this year, so he's someone that we can move to the bullpen. But for $2.5 million, I think he's still worth it to keep. Yainer Diaz, solid catcher. We do not need at all. $3 million is way too much for that person. And yeah, he was in AAA, so we don't need him as well. We're gonna look and offer him a contract extension, 2 years. We don't have enough money for him, which is okay, but we need to go to the front office to not staff roles, but to this, and we can lower the staff or the scouting budget to 20 million and the development budget to we'll say 25, just so we have enough money for extensions and stuff. And then we're gonna raise that up to 50 and make sure that money goes up. And then we're gonna look back at, I guess we can look over here as well. So like, he's not really, let's offer him an extension to see what he wants. So honestly, not too bad. What's he? Great glove, so he's a good fielding pitcher, which is pretty pointless or useless for us. We're gonna go the same pathway that we just did and offer him an extension. I do not want to offer you. I want a team option for the last year. I don't know. What was your pitching stats? So 4.3. No, we just don't need you. I mean, I do kind of want you though. $12 million a year. We're gonna go ahead and just say 11. Use for all. We'll offer you that 3-year. All right, we'll see if he actually does accept that. And then there was one other person that I wanted to look at down here, some minor leaguers. Not really anyone that's moving the needle. Decent ones. Let's see. What's yeah, we don't need to give him $1 million. So no one that's really that great down there. Decision year. That's a lot of money for someone that. Can we trade him? Ooh, let's shop. $30 million is a lot. And we could potentially get a younger starting pitcher. So someone like this could be decent. Obviously, we want to look for someone that's a little bit better. But that's someone that's going to have to eat that $30 million contract. And that will hopefully not be us. This could be a very interesting player. So he's 26. 4 stars. Really good eye. Batted 270 last year. So the Brewers do want him. I kind of feel like we go that route, potentially. We'll move down. So we'll go up to this 4-star, see if he can play any other positions. He's a utility player as well. I really like this trade here. So we're going to throw him on and then look for anyone else that we could potentially add to this trade. Excuse me. So they want, obviously, Sonny Gray. I mean, our pitching was a problem, and Sonny Gray does help that if we have him for the full year. But at the same time, a bat that is really cheap could be potentially really useful for us. And so we'll just throw this up. Yeah, I kind of figured. Let's see. Throw him on it. All right, so we can get this starting pitcher potentially. Not the best replacement, but it is someone. And then, is there any other decent pitchers that we could potentially throw on there for us? So this guy, we'll add him on there. I know we have to figure out that trade. And then, see if there's anyone. So we'll take him off. So let's look at him separate then. We'll go ahead and move back up. Who was the starting pitcher? Oh, it was this guy. So we'll go ahead and throw him on, and then give him, you know, we got the utility guy to give him. Gavin could be, I mean, someone that we kind of want to keep, and then Brooks Baldwin. We can go ahead and trade for that. Honestly, because Sonny Gray, his contract, $30 million, he has a potential to get injured, so we're going to go ahead and just, it's unfortunate, but, you know, you hate to see it. I don't know why they're excited to see him. It's kind of weird. But now he is on the Brewers, so we're going to look at the Brewers now. So we need to make a trade. We want the Brewers, because I like that pitching prospect. Where's Milwaukee? So we're going to go down to, or actually we just sort by age because he was 21. We're just going to throw this person on and see if there's anyone. So no, they just don't want to trade him at all. They don't want to trade him at all. It's kind of surprising that they don't want to. So let's just go crazy and just say something like this. Yeah, so let's throw Colson on there too. No, they really don't want to trade those players. Understandable. They're really good prospects. But alas, we will finish the offseason in the next one. So a really long video. Maybe these are just going to be super long. I don't know. I'm not really too worried either way. I was trying to keep them short before, but maybe they'll just be super long. Oh well, either way, it is what it is. But that's going to be it for this one. So we'll move forward and hopefully not have the same record next year and be above 500. I guess that's the first goal of this rebuild. But anywho, if you made it this far, appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.